South by Southwest continues fast at 1.21 gigawatts, which means we are heading over to the premiere of Still, a Michael J. Fox movie. And Michael J. Fox and his wife, Tracy Pollan, are here in Austin, Texas. Whoa, that's heavy.
All these years, I've never had a film at South by, and I've heard it was incredible. You know, the energy, the love of music, but the love of filmmaking is infectious.
We love you, Mr. Fox!
And I think what's so nice is that this movie is not your typical documentary. It's not your typical Michael J. Fox movie, but it's a Michael J. Fox movie, and it's funny, it's entertaining, and so this moment is like a pure celebration of all of that.
Like Davis is a really kind of self-seeking guy who's curious about what his own process is and how he works. And when he sees reflections of what he's trying to understand in other people, he goes to them and he takes them apart strand by strand, and he's ultimately looking for himself, and it's kind of cool.
The truth is, I underestimated Michael J. Fox. I loved his movies. I saw Back to the Future, and I thought he was a clever guy who was funny. I didn't know how smart he is and what a great writer he is. I didn't realize that his attitude towards Parkinson's, towards life, was so inspiring. And so he has a wisdom in this movie and a humor in this movie that I had never seen in any of his movies. This is like the ultimate Michael J. Fox movie.
No, I'm a tough son of a bitch, and I've been through a lot. But with Tracy and my family, that was a great thing. Like with the film is all the pain and the loss and the difficulty. It's about the joy of our family. Our family brings us such joy, and that's obvious in the film, and that was a nice thing.
And you might think that a film about a guy with Parkinson's is kind of a heavy movie. It's not. It's a kind of a joyous, wonderful movie. So I hope people, at the very least, watch this movie and enjoy the ride. And then I think there's some other things in there too, which I think I hope inspire people.
It's a story of a rise, but then the life that he builds is because of the partnership that he makes with Tracy. And that carries him and it carries us. And it's the present tense, right? It's like all of that he deals with now is he deals together with her. And that bond speaks to everyone, I think.
Hey guys, I wanted to ask each of you different questions about being surprised and delighted by stories. Davis, first for you. In the making of the film, whether they're stories or things that you learned that made it in the film or just from the process of making the film, what things did you learn about Mike's life or the people in his life that surprised or delighted you? And for Mike, I've had the opportunity on the comic convention circuit to ask Leah and Tom and Chris a version of this, but when you go out there and you meet fans and they tell you these stories about what your work has meant to us, what your advocacy and charity work has meant to different people, what are some of the things that still surprise you about those stories or delight you about those stories that you hear from us when you meet us?
Davis first?
I'll be quick because he's the one you want to hear. I think I have to say, as a moviegoer, I think I underestimated this guy. You know, I thought he was handsome and funny and puckish even, but I didn't realize how smart or wise he is. And what I love about the movie, watching it today, just feeling his wisdom, how it might apply to my life. Very wise.
Yeah, I think that vis-a-vis the fans that people have basically lead my life, and most wonderful things that I remember when I first started to do the festival circuits, and I didn't know why I was doing it, because I had no real reason to do it. It was hard to be physically to get organized to do it, and they pay you, and that's nice, but that wasn't the driving reason. And I thought, well, it's because I wanted to give these people that have been, and so it's me the time and the gratitude, and it was, and I was doing it for them. And then I did more, and I realized I started for me. It was was great to me to hear from all of you, to realize that the connection didn't end with whatever I did. The connection ended with how you took it and processed it, what it meant to you. And then I started to see people with tattoos of my face on their hands. I realized this was really deep. This was bigger than life. This was like another extension of how they see the world. They saw the world a lot through Marty McFly. It made me see things through Marty McFly. It made me see things being Marty McFly I never noticed. And it's I mean, Parkinson sucks, but it was a great life. Thank you for it.
Hi, I'm so nervous. I don't even have so much of a question. I just had to get up and say that I went to high school in the mid '80s, and Alex P. Keefe was my hero. I went to the library during the lunch and read the Wall Street Journal. People called it. I work in protein science now, and we are partly funded by the Michael J. Fox Foundation.
Well, the CEO behind me is my co-founder and the CEO of our foundation.
This is nuts. I did laugh and cried so much during this film, and this is what we come out for at South by. I'm an Austin native, and just art that expresses taking on fear, being honest, the sobriety, all of that. Just thank you so much for making this beautiful piece of art.
Hi there, my name is Jackie Mabry. I flew in from Denver, Colorado. I wanted to see this at Sundance. I'm so happy to be here today. Love the film and... Sorry. Several years ago, 10 years ago, I was in a car accident that really put my life into a tailspin. And so I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you for sharing your story, because it's very, very inspiring, especially just being on the other side of that. It's been a tough decade. And so thank you. I was also curious about, it's very unrelated, but the B-roll was so on point. How much of it was original video and how much of it was something that was recreated over time?
Sorry. The person who should be on stage as well is editor Michael Hart. I mentioned him at the beginning. I've done stuff with cats, Three Identical Strangers, and it's interesting. There's sometimes fighting creatively is a productive thing if it's not too violent. And we would struggle, Michael Hart and I, with how to portray things in the past, things that didn't have footage for them. And my solution was what we call recreations. And Michael Hart's solution, which was not on my mind at all when we started, was using his films from different movies. And the best version of that is the what we call moonlighting sequence, where he's doing Family Ties and Back to the Future at the same time. That frenetic sequence, and the best version of that is it's everything, and it's so there's shots from Family Ties, there's shots from Secret of My Success, there's shots from Back to the Future, and the recreation shots. And we decided in our fights not to have a winner. And the winner was the movie, right? And so throughout that, and suddenly we realized you could do anything if you did everything. And so he deserves tremendous credit as a storyteller for that. And it's kind of a fun breakthrough to be able to the scene when Gary David Goldberg tells him about the script of Back to the Future is the scene for Secret of My Success. It's kind of crazy. That he's turning a page and that's the script for Back to the Future. That's Michael Hart.
Right.
Oh, so that makes good sense.
It's all.
Sorry.
It's all of the pieces of it. But you made it all of the pieces.
Thank you.
Hi, Michael. My name is Sean. Thank you, baby. Hi, Michael. Hi, Sean. Hi, I'm Michael. Are you well? I'm Sean. There's a powerful moment in the movie where you talk about the loss of your father, who was clearly very important to you. After all these years, it doesn't get easier. I just lost my grandfather a few days ago. Who was a father figure to me. Thank you. And I'm thinking about what he taught me. My question for you is there something you can share with us that your father taught you that, after all these years, has helped you? My mother just passed away in September. She was 92. You say, when she died in 92? She died in 92. Every time. But he was, so wait, they both grew up in the Great Depression and came during World War II. They're tough people. Really, it was a lot of stuff we don't even know left. And they come out of it are really generous, kind people, and yet they reverse risk. They had all this risk in their life. And when I wanted to do what I wanted to do, I mean, I love one thing about the film is that it gets aggressive. This was insane what I did. I mean, I left school in 11th grade, sold my guitar, hired my dad, and they drive me to lesson. It was mid-ages. And then 3 years later, I was the number one movie star in the world. How does that happen? It's a scene. But my father's never selling on to that route. He didn't get that could happen. I didn't get that could happen. But he got whether he believed in what I believed in or not, and he thought it was crazy. He thought it was a hippie. Then he was in the military, so hippie was his favorite thing. He sympathized. And yet I pulled this off. And what I learned was that he could suspend anything, any fear he had or any doubts he had, because he loved me. So they tell me he loved me, but he was showing me he loved me, and he showed me by doing what he did. So the rest of my life, I was, in addition to telling people I loved them, I realized how important it is to show them that I love them. And that simple act of doing something that person knows I don't want to do, but I'm doing it for them. And that's what my father did to me. He's showed me love, and it paid off.
Hi, Michael. My name is Sabrina Garcia. I am 7 months post-surgery from liver cancer. Only have half of my liver. I call it spilling my guts. So if you want to the documentary, having everyone work with it, spilling your guts and telling your story is actually giving me right now a lot of inspiration and saying, yes, anyone can overcome anything and just keep on moving. So I do have a question for whoever can answer is, will you be doing any other documentaries or assisting others to be more, awareness of other diseases out there that people don't know about and how to get through it? Because I pretty much did it solo, having to figure out what to do, because there's no history of this disease in my family either side. And so I was the one who got the golden ticket, but I'm here and I would like to know, and I battled it a lot with the medical field as far as getting the right treatment. So that pretty much is, will you be doing more projects like that to help people, I guess you say, learn about the medical fields, that the medicines that are available for people to actually receive then versus having hospitals, whatever, to saying, no, you're going to take this medication because we make revenue off of it, not through this. That's what happened to me, but I'll find it in all the loan.
That's another thing I get into big time, but I won't right now. But I want to just set up Davis to give an answer to what you're saying to a sentence. Davis said early on he's done it. He said, I want to cover Parkinson's time, but I don't want to make a movie about Parkinson's. And he did make a movie about Parkinson's. And I'm really gratified with that. He made a movie about life. And so I think you should talk about that. You made a conscious decision not to make a movie about Parkinson's.
First of all, thank you for sharing
Yeah.
what you've been through. And it's very moving, you telling us that. And first of all, tell your own story. Just to your family and to, in your journal. Because just there's a therapeutic act of telling your own story. I believe it. In any way you can. And then there's so many great stories already made and more to be told. And so to me, I live for that. So I hope we can do another story which can speak to what you've been through. So I wanted to say, very quickly, if you're not familiar with the Fox Foundation, I did say we could do something bigger if we're not making a specific movie about Parkinson's, or make something broader. But the Fox Foundation, if you know in the medical world, it is considered the gold standard for how foundations get research done and progress gets made, and actually how a community is built. And so I encourage those of you who don't know about it to learn about it, because it's quite extraordinary what Michael and Debbie Brooks and everyone in the Fox Foundation has done.
Quick little connector to that is that when we started the foundation, I had all these things I would say like why would do it, and I had these quick glimpse, and one thing I would say was purity of motive. So what's the secret? I said purity of motive, and the same applies to what you've done here. It's purity of motive. Just want to tell the story, make it the best way you can. We just want to find a way to cure Parkinson's. And so if you have purity of motive in whatever you do, you can get far. You can get closer to what you want to accomplish. Just don't do it for somebody else, something because you're going to get recognition. Don't do it because you feel sorry for you. Don't do it because you're going to gain financially. Just do it because you're more of this purity on a good result.
Hi, Michael. Thank you. You're one of my favorite actors, and thank you for making this film. It was really, really wonderfully done. We dig the curly hair, even if it's hard to do.
Yeah, it's good.
So my question, you touched upon it a little, but didn't go deep in it. Looking back, I know there was a period that you talked about in the film where you just kind of kept like running and pushing and working, and you were still doing a ton of movies, ton of TV. Is there, looking back, is there a point where you would, if you had to redo it, would you slow down, or do you just you love what you did and no regrets?
No, I have no regrets. But there's a moment I saw this when you were talking, and I never connected this to two, but I worked with a director named Peter Jackson, who did we had Lord of the Rings, and I would say I got it between masterpieces. but one time when we were shooting, and we were in New Zealand, it was right at the end when I was coming to the decision in my life. It just showed in the film, not specific to that movie, but when I said I got to get back in, I got to get back to New York and live my life to be with my family. And I was in New Zealand, and it was raining, and like 3 a.m. we just finished night shoots, and it was terrible weather. And we're on our way up, and about half a mile from the set, I see Peter Jackson walking in the rain to his car. And they had this whole thing, they're brotherhood, and they all making films, and they're together. And I said, what are you doing? He said, "What in my car?" I said, "Well, we need you. You can't walk at midnight in the rain to your car. It's ridiculous." So the next morning I showed up and said, I called all the department heads together. And I said, "You probably don't want to hear this from me, but you're all nuts. You think this guy is one of you. He's not. He's the guy. He's the guy who figured this all out. If you're this, and you let him walk to his car in the rain. you know, light, and that's what I got. Like you want to do what you want to do, and you want to do it the best you can. You want people to recognize it, but you don't want to kill yourself for it. And that was a moment that I just made the connection now that I said I gotta stop doing this. I gotta get to where life is sane, and I'm doing this with my family if I'm doing it for anyone. And I think it was the best decision.
Hello, my name is Catherine Blinga, and I've spent the last 25 years of my life between Canada and Ukraine. And I have to say, this movie has I'm so moved. I could not stop crying. And I think for me, and as I was reflecting, why am I crying? It was that, Michael, you faced like a shitty situation that wasn't of your making, like a circumstance that you took us through that. And then it's almost like you just surrendered to it, and then you fought and you raised $2 billion and that whole process. And we're in a shitty situation in Ukraine right now. Like, it really is horrific. And I'm here at South by Southwest to bring voice to that. So I guess I want to hear from you, Michael, like that moment when you moved from, it's not me alone. I'm part of a larger community or something. And what have you learned about that in really mobilizing massive, people to care about a disease that was perhaps not something that they really cared about?
Well, as for the Ukraine, I have been in this pretty since nothing, but I had no connection as a human one. But I've been really touched by that situation, and really, in the course of things that happen in the world, it's one thing that tells me every time I hear it. I stop where I'm doing it and listen, like, what the latest reports are, what the latest activities are, what the latest damages and tragedy, and I don't know whether it's connected in that way, but I so relate to the resolve of the people of the Ukraine. We watched 5 minutes of these people in shelter just saying, fuck it, we're going to get our country back. And it's so clear in their faces and their attitudes that it's not a question, it's not a choice. And I think that's the thing that if there's anything I'd like to hear, it's just, I don't have a choice.
Yes.
This is it. This is my path. It's what I'm on, and I'm going to do, whether it's the foundation, or whether it's my family, whether it's my work, whether it's this film, I want to make sure that I give everything I have to what I believe in, and I don't just give it lip service. That I show up and do the best I can. And I don't know, if you have that purpose and that drive, it makes it more livable. I mean, I did a terrible job at expressing that, but I so hope there's a resolve to the situation in Ukraine, and then I hope that we come over the cure for Parkinson's. I just hope all the good stuff happens.
Michael, when you how did you get people beyond pity? Like, no Ukrainian wants to be pitied. They don't want people to feel bad. They're so badass, and they want to be seen, and they're beyond fear. So in a way, it's almost like, hey, let's stop with the pity, guys. So how did you move people, other people, like yourself? You'd already moved. But how did you move others to beyond pity, to like really getting into action and making a difference?
Well, it's clear that it should be trained on pity.
No.
And then, with that, I relate to that and really applaud that. And I think I say pity doesn't mean no good. Pity is a benign form of abuse. Pity is useless. Empathy is great, and belief is great, and support is great, but Yeah, to say pity, pity, there's nothing. I felt it's something shallow to say. I didn't feel sorry for myself. And then I felt, so what? That's fun. So I didn't feel sorry for myself. That's my reality. That's going on. I don't have time for that. It's like there's stuff to be learned from that, and whether it's my situation or bigger, more important situation. There's stuff to be learned from that, so we should learn and move on. By the way,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you very much. I see his work from where's already going around. I get the. Well, that's cool.
Hello, Michael. My name is Laurie Coker, and I'm very nervous, and I don't usually get nervous. But I'm going to lead with my response to what I'm going to ask you, which is having overcome brain tumor, spine tumor, inability to walk, and so on and so forth. I had a maxim even before that I use for myself daily to get through things, and it's when life gives you shit, fertilize. And I'm wondering, as I sat through your movie and was very teary-eyed, and I wasn't able to walk 2 years ago, I thought about how remarkable you are and how much you did for so many people when you came out and told us that you had Parkinson's disease. And I've been following your entire career. Do you have a maxim that goes into Michael J. Fox's head when things seem really shitty and there's no lemons and there's no cherries, there's just shit?
It's funny, kid. I got tons of those. my family crazy. We say it like the thing. We go, let's say, yeah. Choose to be happy. Before you look at me at the elevator door, others, shut up. But it's funny you should make allowances. Thing, I had a spinal tumor, too, and my operation was, I was getting over the operation of my spinal tumor when it broke my humerus in my left arm, and all that stuff. And the thing that I realized when I was over with my broken arm after my spinal tumor surgery, I said, I'm out of lemonade business. And you might tell people to cheer up and do it. I'm miserable right now. I'm angry and frustrated, and I hate that it's happened. And screw lemons. Lemonade and all that shit. So, yeah, it's after that. This stuff's important. I was trying to on a metaphor or a maxim for any situation, and it helps me. It just keeps me distracted.
Thank you very much, and I love you, and thank you for everything you're doing for everyone.
Thank you.
Davis and Michael, thank you both very, very much. Before I get to my question, I just wanted to say that, Michael, you were one of my biggest inspirations growing up. The reason why my mom got me into acting when I was 3.5 years old, and the reason why my professional acting name when I was a child actor, child star for 10 years was Jesse R. Tendler. The middle initial behind was a tribute to you. So thank you. And my question for both of you is, during the production process of this, were there ever days when you couldn't shoot or had to postpone, or things that came up that just made the filming very challenging and difficult?
Yeah. For me, I mean, the whole thing of it's a challenge to you. They didn't show up, you never know. What if I show up and they didn't have a head or an arm? You carry it out through the circumstance. Wrong. By
Yeah, but when Michael did show up, it was pretty great. And we persevered. Yeah, I wouldn't take any of it away. I mean, the last 6 months of filming was pretty hard because we had some of those falls. And we were shooting in Vancouver, the recreations. And interesting, Michael's mother was there. She came to set, spent the whole day there, walked around, and Michael couldn't come because we're fine. And we did it. And you heard up. That's me.
So that's it, the premiere of Still, a Michael J. Fox movie. Amazing, powerful, beautiful film. Whole lot more coverage coming your way from South by Southwest 2023, so keep checking back right here. And remember, your future is whatever you make of it, so make it a good one, all of you.